Hello, welcome to another segment of Gregg's Living Room. I'm Gregg Martinez, and today, well, we're really not in my living room, but we're in the living room of Earl Harvin. He is the drummer for the 1 O'Clock Lab Band, and he also plays drums for the local band, Tin Hands. Thanks for letting us shoot in your living room, Earl.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Yeah, drums, wow. What brought you down to Denton?
Well, a friend of mine in high school, who was also a drummer, went to North Texas State for a couple of years, and when he saw that I was really interested in playing, I mean, I was pretty interested in making music, you know, my career from the time I was a freshman in high school on, and he saw that I was interested in playing and recommended the school to me, and I decided to go here.
And how did you get into the 1 O'Clock Lab Band?
The 1 O'Clock I got into real recently, within the past, I think it was about maybe about 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months, I think, something like that. The middle of last semester. That's just I just had auditioned for the bands ever since I had been here. So I've been here about 2.5 years. When I first got in here, I was in reading band and worked my way up. You know, got into, I think I was in the 9 o'clock for a little while, and then I was in the 7 o'clock, and last year I was in the 3 o'clock, and then went from the 3 into the 1.
Now, playing in the 1 O'Clock Lab Band, does that ever conflict with your gigs with Tin Hands?
Yeah, it can sometimes, because especially the past semester, the band had done a lot of gigs. You know, the way the band makes money is to do performances outside of school for money. You know, we get hired to do, you know, formal engagements and things like that where people want a big band. The stuff we do on campus we don't get paid for because those are school functions. But the way the band makes money and has a fund for itself is by getting booked for all sorts of, you know, gigs and functions and things like that. And sometimes it can get in the way, not too much. Sometimes the gigs get in the way of each other, and they, you know, can conflict. And sometimes it's depending on what kind of gig it is, or the, you know, the importance of the gig. Sometimes you can send a sub to the 1 O'Clock, which is a good thing.
I mean, the Tin Hands Band, what type of music do they play in contrast to the jazz you play, obviously, with 1 O'Clock?
Totally different. I almost kind of try and be two totally different players when I approach Tin Hands as opposed to the 1 O'Clock. I mean, Tin Hands is a rock band, and it's not a typical rock band. I mean, it's not. It's got a lot of different musical influences in it, and maybe a real minute jazz influence, but not. I wouldn't say that it's a jazz influence band. I mean, most of its influence comes from ethnic musics and rock and roll. And when I say ethnic music, I mean like Latin and African stuff. We kind of fuse. The big thing about Tin Hands is fusing like real world rhythms, you know, not necessarily reggae. That's something we really haven't gotten into because a lot of people have done that already, like the Police or whatever. But we do a lot of using like African rhythms and Latin rhythms and things like that, calypso, into rock and roll. So that kind of playing is totally different from the 1 O'Clock thing, and also because Tin Hands is a completely creative venue where it's when we approach tunes, I myself can come up with a part, you know, completely on my own, completely from my own thinking and my own playing and style and whatever. Whereas the 1 O'Clock is one of the main things that it teaches you, why it's a great band, is it teaches you traditional playing. You have to approach the 1 O'Clock from a standpoint of, well, what did the guys before me, what did those guys play? Not the guys before me in the 1 O'Clock, but like if we play a Stan Kenton arrangement, it's like, well, what did Stan Kenton's drummer play in 1958, and not necessarily copy that, but take that and make it a little bit part of your style so that you can keep some of the tradition. Whereas Tin Hands, I can come up with whatever I want. I mean, it's not based on any traditions or anything like that because the music is so non-conventional. You know?
Right.
So I'm able to be completely creative on that end, and then go into the 1 O'Clock and play not only a different style of music, but a different function in the band. I have more of the function of supporting the band rather than being as much of a creative, input into the music itself. It's more like performing the music in the style that it should be performed in.
It'd be okay if we showed the session we shot of you a couple of weeks ago of drumming on your drum set.
Sure.
Great. Well, let's do that then. Well, Earl, I have to be honest. I thought for a soloed performance that was quite good. I mean, I could see probably it would be better live with, the band jamming around, but I'm very impressed by it.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is all the time we have today. So, for NT Scene, let me say thanks for letting us come into your living room and shoot here. And from Earl's living room, I'm Gregg Martinez.